Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from 13th Colony Distilleries. This is their Southern Rye Whiskey, coming in at a 47.4% ABV, at least 4 years old. Now, for full disclosure, I reached out to 13th Colony Distilleries for a review sample. They were kind enough to send this over for us to take a look at. So, just keeping that transparency open. So 13th Colony Distilleries is based out of Georgia, and they're doing some phenomenal things here in the spirits industry. I more recently have had their gin and vodka, and their gin is really darn good stuff. But the spirits that most people are talking about in the whiskey world right now is their bourbon and their rye. Now, I reviewed their bourbon, and it was phenomenal. And when it comes to their rye, I'm really interested because it has something that so many people know, and it's their mash bill. So, we know it's a 95% rye, 5% malted barley, at least 4 years old, but can be up to 6 years old according to their website. On top of that, it was finished using a custom French oak spiral. So I'm really interested to see what that little spiral is going to do to help add some additional notes to this. So I'm really excited. Let's go ahead and jump into things. As always, we're going to be trying it two different ways. First way neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water, see if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit. If you're interested in some other reviews that the 13th Colony Distilleries sent us, you can take a look at those links. They'll be up above and down below when they're live, along with a link to their website so you can learn a little bit more about them on your own time. Beautiful color. Definitely not as dark as their bourbon was, but that bourbon was super dark. And the one bottle that so many people are after right now is their double oaked. And I can respect that, because if it's half as good as their standard, I'd be hunting for it as well. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, that is phenomenally different. Obviously, the 95.5 rye mash bill is very common, but I love seeing it from other states and where they're sourcing that from, because Indiana tends to be herbal, medicinal, even dill-like. Here, a little fruity, like orchard fruit. The spice grains going on in here. Beautifully sharp, but not overly spicy or herbal or medicinal. The barley is showing up just a hair. Getting a bit of brown sugar. Also that kind of creamy vanilla going on. Bit of wood spices from the cask as well. It's actually, I take it back, it's the spices from the French oak. So for me, French oak tends to bring across a nuttiness or a spice layer that's very different than grain spice. And that's what it is. But it's got a little oiliness to it on top of things. But definitely beautiful light orchard fruits. Nice subtle rye spice. Very different than what I was expecting after seeing the mash bill. I'm excited. Let's go for a taste. That's really good. I'm from Indiana. I'm pretty particular on my rye whiskey. Beautifully soft. If you blindfolded me and didn't tell me, I don't know if I'd be able to tell that was that high of a rye build up front. It's spicy, don't get me wrong, but I think that French oak is taming things back a bit, or it's wherever they're getting their rye from. Because you are getting spices, but you're also getting that beautiful dark layer of oak. It's a little oily. The fruit notes are kind of showing up as well. A little bit of the almost apricot and apple and pear. Just more orchard-like. Doesn't have quite a strong cling on things when it comes to your palate. But overall, that's really solid. This is the perfect definition to a daily drinker. Very subtle, soft. But if I wanted to, I could sit here and really kind of dig deep on it. This would probably make wonderful Manhattans. Just because it's got a nice subtle spice in there, the oak layers are very dominating. And again, I'm wanting to assume that oak spiral from the French oak cask is helping with that. But the rye spice is not like 95.5 rye. And I have to keep reminding myself there's that much rye in this because it is so unique. The flavors are subtle and simple, and that's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that on an everyday drinker. That is an easy going sip. I love the waxiness in there from that oak, and it's just nice, subtle spices going on. All right, let's add a little drop of water, see what changes up here. I don't even know where to begin. I have no guesses for what's going to happen to this bottle when we add that drop of water, but we do it for science. Because as always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. Don't be shunned out because you want to add a drop of water to something. All right, let's go for notes on the water version. Ooh, whoa, hold on here. I'm getting a bit of dill. It might be projected, but the little bit of herbal is coming out on the neat version now. And I'm getting just a little pin of dill note in there. And I'm getting it over here now. Still subtle, very soft, sweet grain notes going on. Nice oak layer, the spices in there. Again, it's more like rice spice versus herbal and medicinal. But you are getting a bit of that dill that I tend to find in 95.5 rye, especially from Indiana. But beautiful. Still no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes on either version. But let's go for a taste. That's going to make a wonderful Manhattan. Oh, man. So, when you proofed it down a little bit, it got a little spicier, a little bit more oak in there. But you are getting that bit of French oak spiral spiciness going on. The rye notes, though, are phenomenal in the water version, too. That is good. Oh, man. Maybe a little bit of leather pulling out now on the water version. Let's go back to the neat one. It's very soft in there, just like a small patch of worn leather. But I'm getting a little bit of that dill still, which is phenomenal. I do like that. That is a fun, different experiment with a rye whiskey. Big thumbs up on that one. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So you can actually pick this up online, and some retailers, things like that, for as low as like $45. And to be honest, I think that's a really solid sip. For 45 bucks, I've paid a lot more for solid ryes, and this falls right into that category. I cannot wait for the day they finally show up here in Indiana, because I'm wanting to have these on the shelves, because they are not only gorgeous looking bottles, but those flavor profiles coming across for that price, those age statements and those mash bills, phenomenal. This is not your typical rye. If you're not a typical rye fan, this should be the rye whiskey for you. It does lean a little heavier into common bourbon notes, but you still get that beautiful rye spice going on that is very different than what I was expecting coming into this review. Huge thumbs up on this bottle. And again, if you're interested in what 13th Colony Distilleries is doing, a link to their website will be down in the description area below. Go show them some love. So yeah, there you have it, folks. 13th Colony Distilleries Southern Rye Whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. I love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, I really like it might